Right, let's get started, shall we? Let's have a look at 10 of the most dangerous places on Earth. Number 1. This is the Danakil Desert in Ethiopia, and it is proven to be the hottest place on the surface of the Earth, with daytime temperatures regularly exceeding the 50 degrees Celsius mark. Earthquakes tearing the ground apart, volcanoes spitting lava. As if this wasn't enough, there are numerous geysers spitting out toxic gases. All of this causing the rivers to dry up and turn into lakes of salt. Despite this cruel environment, this place is inhabited by the tribe of the Afar, who engage in salt mining. Also, there is an ongoing border conflict with the neighboring country of Eritrea, and you are running risk of getting kidnapped. With the National Geographic describing the Danakil Desert as one of the cruelest places on Earth, it is needless to say, visiting it is in fact so dangerous, it is strictly forbidden to go there without a very experienced guide. Number 2. This is the Maddidi National Park in Bolivia. This wonderful sky, this beautiful shoreline, this amazing romantic sunset, this guide gently caressing a local tree. Not dangerous, you might think. However, it is also home to the harpy eagle, who hunts for no less than sloths and monkeys. Also inhabited by various types of venomous insects, toxic moths, sandflies transmitting diseases that will eat your forearm, this snake, wild boars, botfly maggots that bury into your flesh, stingrays biting your testicles, worms infesting your stomach, a bird, stinging ants, bears, mushrooms eating your skin, and basically every plant and leaf you touch will leave you in pain for hours, or at least will give you the rash of your life. Told you it's dangerous. The Madidi National Park in Bolivia is not only one of the most dangerous places on this planet, but also one of the most diverse, which again is beautiful. Number 3. Off the coast of Sao Paulo, about 33 kilometers to the south, lies Snake Island. The island, small in size it may be, is inhabited by a vast amount of snakes. So many actually, you would stumble across one every 5 square meters. Unfortunately, it's not the type of small and fluffy snakes, but one of the deadliest and most venomous snakes, the golden lancehead, whose diet mainly consists of birds. The golden lancehead is not found anywhere else in the world, and there are no known subspecies. The snakes became trapped and isolated on the island when rising sea levels covered up the land connecting it to the mainland. This left the species to adapt to their environment, increasing their population rapidly. To steer ships away from the island, a lighthouse was built, operated by a single family. About 20 years later, the family was found dead due to the golden lanceheads entering their home. The lighthouse is now automated, and the island is closed to the public. Nowadays, only research teams are allowed to visit this dangerous place. Number 4. The Sichuan-Tibet-Highway connects the cities Chengdu in China on the east and Lhasa in Tibet on the west. Over 2,400 kilometers long, the highway takes you through 14 mountains with 4,000 to 5,000 meters altitude, majestic landscapes and plateaus with many Tibetan homes and yaks to look at. However, the Sichuan-Tibet-Highway is also one of the most dangerous roads on Earth. As diverse as the scenery along the highway is, the weather is extremely changeable. During one trip along the highway, which may very well take up to 2 weeks, travelers experience weather conditions ranging from spring to winter, with swings of up to 40 degrees over a single day. Needless to say, the road suffered from environmental strains and is very dangerous to drive on. So far, about 100,000 people have died on the highway, roughly 10% of them due to rock slides alone and the poor state of the roads. Despite the danger, you will encounter traffic jams stretching for miles with even more potential for danger. Impatience leads to hostilities among the drivers and therefore theft, fights and even kidnappings. The highway is crucial for the trade and import of goods for Tibet though, and a vital connection between the two countries. Number 5. Derweze, a small village with roughly 350 inhabitants in Turkmenistan. In close proximity, the door to hell, a 70 meters wide and 20 meters deep ever-burning gas crater in the middle of the desert, caused by the collapse of a natural gas field in 1971. Originally, it was identified as an oil field site by the Soviets. Drilling into the ground caused it to collapse, burying the whole camp with it. They had found gas, not oil. Geologists deliberately set the gas field on fire to prevent the spread of the methane gas, but the fire hasn't stopped yet. This leads to believe that the door to hell is one of the biggest gas reserves in the world. The golden glow around the crater can be seen from miles away. This and the smell of the burning sulfur made the local townspeople name it the door to hell. In April 2010, the country's president Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov visited the site and ordered that the hole should be closed. But this is yet to happen. Number 6. Lake Nyos in Cameroon is one of the 3 known lakes in the world to be saturated with carbon dioxide. Those lakes are also called exploding lakes. In 1986, the lake suddenly emitted a large cloud of carbon dioxide, causing a natural disaster, resulting in the deaths of over 1,700 close-by villagers and 3,500 animals. An area of 25 kilometers around the lake was affected. How did this happen? The lake is built on a volcanically active area. A pocket of magma beneath the lake is charging the waters with carbon dioxide. Signs of a landslide had been documented right after the incident, and this probably caused a volcanic eruption under the water. To prevent a recurrence, a degassing tube that siphons water from the bottom to the top, allowing the carbon dioxide to leak in safe quantities, was installed in 2001, and 2 additional tubes were installed in 2011. Today, the lake also poses a threat because its natural wall is weakening, making it harder to hold the water from rushing into downstream villages all the way to Nigeria and allowing large amounts of carbon dioxide to escape. This process is basically no more and no less than an extremely slow earthquake. Number 7. The Ephemeral Isles. The Maldives consist of almost 2,000 islands. In which way are they a dangerous place? Because they might become the first state in history to be completely erased by the sea. The highest point of elevation is just about 6 feet or 1.5 meters. The sea is rising slowly over time anyway, but the process is being accelerated by global warming. Experts say it's very likely the Maldives will be underwater by the year 2100. In 2008, President Mohammed Nasheed's first act upon taking office was to create a fund for financing the relocation of the entire population of the Maldives. Officials started building artificial islands for the movement of the population. Artificial territories, however, are not recognized as official, which means the Maldives will eventually be disappearing as a political state completely. Number 8. The Cayman Islands are British territory and located 150 miles south of Cuba. Grand Cayman is the largest of the 3 islands, most famous for being a playground for the rich and beautiful and offshore accounts to avoid taxes. However, the Cayman Islands don't only attract the wealthiest people on Earth, but also a lot of hurricanes. Hurricane Ivan in 2004 was the largest hurricane to ever hit the Grand Cayman. It reached Category 5, which is the strongest category on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. A Category 5 hurricane is able to collapse walls and even root out trees. It caused a financial damage of $2.86 billion. Due to a proper evacuation plan, it only caused 2 deaths despite its immense power. The Grand Cayman is called the hurricane capital of the world because at least 1 hurricane occurs approximately every 2 years, which is more than in any other location in the Atlantic Basin. Number 9. Mount Washington. No, you're not. The other. Yes. Mount Washington, located in... Oh, no, mate. Located in New Hampshire, USA, holds the world record for the fastest winds on the surface of the Earth and the highest recorded speed at about 230 miles per hour. With only 2,000 meters, its height is not nearly as impressive as, for example, the Mount Everest's. However, with temperatures exceeding minus 40 degrees Celsius, very heavy snowfalls, and the mighty winds, it is just as dangerous and will put the same amount of strains on the human body as climbing the Mount Everest itself. As you can see, this chap is hardly holding up against the gusts on Mount Washington. The weather conditions on the peak also made it a popular site for glider flying. Since 1849, about 150 people have died trying it out on Mount Washington, the highest peak in the northeastern United States. Number 10. An overview of dangerous places on Earth is not complete without Australia. The waters of Queensland, for instance, are home to many dangerous animals which you better avoid while swimming or exploring the ocean. For example, the blue-ringed octopus. With a size of 12 to 20 centimeters, they are hard to spot in the crevices where they like to hide. They can easily be provoked, for example by establishing eye contact or making jokes about their mums, and the venom causes severe and often complete body paralysis, as well as heart and lung failure. The waters of Queensland are also inhabited by one of the deadliest creatures on Earth, the box jellyfish. They can have tentacles of up to 10 feet in length and contain enough poison to kill a human in 2 to 5 minutes. It is mildly disturbing to imagine that they hunt down their prey actively and don't just drift about like other jellyfish. As if this wasn't enough, once they're fully grown, they are almost transparent and even harder to spot. Once one of them is spotted, the beaches might be shut down for days in order to protect the swimmers. Other than that, there are also sharks and crocodiles, which are dangerous for obvious reasons. Right, thanks very much for watching, subscribe if you like, and goodbye.